notes. What is he talking about? He's losing his mind.
Man,
Oh man.
welcome back to a totally not recorded again episode of the United We Nerd podcast. A podcast where we definitely don't forget that our audio channels weren't live.
Yay. Am I live
But
this time for real?
I think we're good. I think we're good this time. But you know what?
Cool.
It wouldn't be a new year without the foibles. Especially the foibles that we could have just pretended didn't happen. But you know what? We're real like that. What else is real is that, Joel, this episode's coming out on February 1st, which means it is our 3-year anniversary month.
Damn. We've been doing this for 3 years.
We've been doing this for 3 years, dude. It's wild.
A lot of content.
A lot of content, a lot of stuff. It's, we're still here, we're still kicking, and we got a lot of stuff coming. And to show you guys what you can have in store for 2024, you could check out this clip right here. This February is United We Nerds' 3rd anniversary. 3 years. And with the celebration, we have 3 announcements. 1 change, 1 return, and 1 new. First, let's get to the change. Now, in the past year, when it came to reviews and our podcasts, we realized that our schedules weren't really meshing up and that we had a tough time doing reviews and podcasts separately. So, in 2024, we are deciding to rejoin them, which means we'll be able to review things faster and quicker for you guys. Don't worry, YouTube, the video version of the review will be released the Monday after the podcast for easier access later on. And next, the return. So for those of you that have been with us for a while, remember special episodes that we did a little while ago. But I'm glad to announce that our roundtable discussions are coming back this year. Joel's been working really hard on them, and we're going to have a lot of fun talking with our friends, having discussions about special nerdy topics, maybe even Star Wars. So look forward to seeing them in the near future, because trust me, you're going to have a lot of fun. And finally, the new. The latter half of 2023, we start doing the Weekend Warrior streams on twitch.tv/United We Nerd. And this year we decided we wanted to make it a little bit more high stakes. That's why we are announcing right here, all throughout the month of February, we're going to be having special weekend streams we are calling the Chase for the Title. I know what you might be asking, Brian, what title are you talking about? Well, I'm glad you asked. Every weekend this February, leading up to February 25th, our anniversary, me and Joel are going to be competing for the World Nerdy Weight Championship. And this just isn't for bragging rights. This is a fully fledged title that we will debut on our first stream February 4th at 1 p.m. Pacific, so don't be late. That's not all. Every stream this February, you too can also be involved in the chase. By showing your support during the stream, you might be able to help or hinder Joel or I in the chase for the World Nerdy Weight Championship. Again, we couldn't have made it to 3 years without your guys' support, and we appreciate you all so very much. And for those of you that are just joining us right now, this is the best time to join United We Nerd. Year 3 is where the fun really begins. We appreciate you all for being with us so far, and year 3 is going to be the best year yet. And until next time, keep on nerding. Wow, what a lot of cool stuff, right, Joel?
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's go over it real quick, Joel.
We're done. I'm fucking done.
We talked about what's we talked about what's changing, what's coming back, and what's new. What's changing, the merger of our review and our podcast episodes together. The past year wasn't kind to reviews just because of the strike and everything like that. And I know, at least for us, it started getting a lot more difficult to try to find time to record review episodes separately. So I think this will be a good for us. We will be able to, catch up really quick and, talk about what we want to talk about,
Sometimes just got to go back to the old ways.
That's true.
How we used to do it. And that's okay.
That's fine.
No one gets hurt.
Yeah. And of course, like we said, the YouTube version will be posted up on its own. So if anybody wants to just go watch the review again, they can do that. So there's
Hell
a
yeah.
little bit of the new and old mixed in there. And I know for you, Joel, something that's very exciting is the return of the roundtable discussions.
Hell yeah. I enjoyed those so much. It was nice having our friends come on board and just talk about some shit with us and nerdy shit. And we had people who, were new to D&D, people who were like experienced D&D. They came together for one. That was really cool. I think we did another similar one like that. And then we also for sure did an Overwatch one when, 2 was announced and before it shit hit the fan. So you could hear our
Before the
genuine
promise was there.
interest and nostalgia before at least it changed for me. I mean, you'll like it or not, right? But we had like a quasi one with Destiny 2. But yeah, we need like a full one later. But yeah, I think it's some of our best stuff when we have guests. So more of that is coming for sure. Assassin's Creed's on the table. Definitely for sure. It's been there. We just need to do it. Star Wars coming soon too. And honestly, Gundam one. We haven't done. We love Gundam.
Ooh, yeah.
So we should do that. But yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'd be down. The roundtables are always a fun time. It's always fun to talk about the things we really like. Because that's what this podcast is about. But also, on the streaming side, what's new? Chase for the title. That's right. Like I said, this entire month, we're going to be doing streams, Weekend Warrior style, until we get to the anniversary, February 25th, where one of us are going to be crowned the World Nerdy Weight Champion. Will it be me? Yeah. Will it be Joel? Yeah. Who knows?
Yeah.
I don't know. Woo. And you know what? It's cool because it's our anniversary. Like we said, we're going to be having the viewing audience being able to participate in certain ways, trying to throw monkey wrenches into the entire thing. So that's going to be really fun, Joel. Are you ready, though? Because one of us is going to be champion. I mean, I don't want to brag, but
he's been playing the fucking game. I'm coming in fresh. Hey, I don't know shit.
What I think is going to be really cool though for the My GM mode is that I haven't played that at all. So the strategic value of like the My GM mode for 2K23 is going to be, like kind of an even playing field for us because it's not so much about how you play the game, it's how you strategize your show. So I think it's going to be a fun time. Hopefully you guys will come join us every weekend this February for the chase for the title and see who will become the World Nerdy Weight Champion.
The boner saws are ready. I mean, whoops.
No.
Maybe
anyway,
hashtag boner saw.
Oh no.
Well, audio's working, right? Audio's working.
Now it's working, I guess, unfortunately.
Oh, yeah.
Just in time for us to be taken off. Anyway, with that out of the way, Joel, how has your week been?
What have I been up to? Let's see if I can recall all the things I said before. One of them, played D&D back to back. It was pretty fun. I'm doing a fantasy campaign. My crew went on a crystal ship, fought like their mentors, or so they thought. They were like images, and they got new shit on the way that they're going to run into. And I was just planning what they're going to do next. It's going to be fun. I'm doing the Mass Effect D&D. For those who are familiar with Mass Effect, they are going to go to Tachanka next. Yes. They have Eve and Rex with them. They're going to try to cure the genophage. If that doesn't make sense at all, those just sound like a bunch of weird words. All you need to know is shit's hitting the fan. This is part 3 of the game series, and it's woo. It takes off. It's full steam ahead after this. I mean, it's been full steam, but yeah. And I throw in some twists for them too, and of course, as players, they do that as well. So.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna be fun, especially for the members of a group that have no idea how the Mass Effect story goes. Tachanka's a pretty big part, so I'm gonna be intrigued what you're going to throw in for us that know the story, and then I'm anticipating like them trying to take the lead and see what they decide to have happen. So if anybody knows Mass Effect 3, you know what we're talking about. It's gonna be wild.
And what was fun is I feel like you guys, at least in a lot of games, I feel like the biggest problem is power creep. For those who know Mass Effect, there's this unit called the Phantom. And it's a unit that can one hit kill. And so I made them really tough. And if they crit, they like knocked out a player. But they were pretty lucky, except for the orbital bombardment, one of your teammates did. But other than that, yeah, I think it's a good time, and we'll see where it goes. And then after that, I celebrated my birthday, turned 34. Brian and Marcel got me something cool, little like 808 synth with like a little drum pad that was really cool. Other friends got me like Gundam models. Oh, there's one. Actually, there's a few right here since we love Gundam so much.
Let's see.
But he got me a Blue Destiny. Yeah. So I think Unit I read 2. Part of the comic. Yeah, Unit 2. So that's cool. I don't have any Blue Destiny stuff, so that's cool. Also, for those who can see this, this is a real grade God Gundam, aka Domon Kosh's Burning Gundam. And I don't have a real grade, so shout out to my buddy Ben for that.
That's gonna look nice.
Everyone got me some great stuff, even though I said don't give me gifts. Everyone's really cool. And shout out to Matt for this cool journal he gave me. It's basically for like maybe D&D stuff. It's like a dragon journal. It's like a bronze cover.
Damn.
It's like a dragon eye kind of locket. Yeah. I saw this thing where like people have been documenting like their playthroughs of Baldur's Gate, like they're the actual character. I was like, oh, that's a good idea. So I might do that. Thank you, Matt.
Hell yeah.
And a bunch of other things people got me. They're wonderful. It was a fun time. We played one night Alien to set up for after watching Werewolf by Night in color, which I haven't seen, so that was really cool. I've seen the black and white one, but so and then we finished the night with Speed Racer. I haven't seen that since 2011, so it was fun. It's still goofy as shit. At least not that problematic as far as I remember. It's pretty dumb in a great way, very colorful, like junk food. Honestly, a junk food movie.
It's definitely one of those ones where you just kind of like stare at it.
And shout out to my boy Jameson. He got me a new controller that's like SNES style. It has like 2 extra like buttons.
The fight pad.
The fight pad. So it's really cool. And I just started playing Classic in Street Fighter 6. I just tested my metal yesterday against our buddy. Shout out to J Mike kicking my ass, but I said, hey, I got a new controller. I need to break it in, and I learned some moves with one of his buddies. So yeah, Classic boy on the rise, coming. I mean, Modern was good to me, but Classic's on the way.
Coming out of Modern, I want to ask you, like, how was that experience? Like, how far did you get with your training?
You mean in Classic or like with Modern and then like switching to
Classic? Well, no, just like playing in Classic. Like, how did it feel compared to Modern for you? I'm really interested to know.
I don't know if it's a controller or just Classic. It's snappier. I don't know if Modern is slower. It just felt slower now that I'm playing on Classic. Maybe it's a controller too, but yeah, and that trade-off for damage is fucking worth it. I don't even know how to do the super moves yet properly. I'm honestly like I won some matches just doing like heavy moves and light moves and a few combos because I'm still learning, right? Like on Modern, it was easy. It made it super accessible, which is great if you're like me, not that great of a fighting game player. So, but now it's like, all right, I got this good controller. Let's fucking go, you know, and got my ass kicked a few times yesterday, but it was cool to like, you know, I was like actually practicing with like Guile and seeing his like new moves I couldn't do right away with Modern. Like some of those moves were locked. Like I can't pull them off, but now they have Classic style. It's like, oh, that kick is sick or this move is dope, you know,
you got your full move set unlocked to you.
Oh yeah. It's some of those characters I'm like, they had this move. Yeah, it's
yeah.
And if you played Modern and Street Fighter, you know you have a damage cut, and that damage cut being gone, God, it makes 20%. Like, I feel like with Modern, I was like really slogging sometimes to win. But with Classic, it feels like matches go by so much faster, win or lose, because like we're going hard. But yeah, so me and Brian are due for some Classic matches in the future, and I hopefully get better. I got to learn some combos now. Just hit Y and pray, you know.
Now you're gonna be standing there trying to remember. It's like, okay, what's my level 1? What's my level 2? And then by the time you
Yeah,
figure it out,
dude.
you get your
My
ass
buddy
smacked.
J Mike was like, level 3, let's go. And I'm like, I don't know how to do it yet. Because like there's a
Bro,
clear moment when I was fighting one of his buddies, and we both both should have done a level 3, and he pulled it off, and I was like, I have no fucking idea.
bro, playing
So
Canon Classic, I can't tell you how many times I've accidentally launched my level 3 when I was trying to do a level 1. It's like, motherfucker, now I wasted my entire fucking my gauge.
dude, he is so different in classic versus modern now. Now that I'm trying
Yeah.
to, I used him a couple times yesterday. Yeah, it was like, ooh, now I know why people use Ken, but also, ooh, that's a lot to learn for me. So yeah, that was yeah. So shout out to Jameson for the new, I think it's a Nahori controller. Yeah, I think
It's
H
a
O R
Hori
I.
fight pad, yeah.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
a
it's
good Hori is a very good fighting game
yeah.
controller brand.
And my Razer doesn't even have the feature where just like you hit the middle button and it can screen cap. Like that's a simple little thing that I
Oh,
wish my Razer had. And my Razer's like the pro one with the bumpers, so
that's
I appreciate
interesting.
that. Yeah. So that's cool. Just a little thing. It feels like kind of like an old controller, like kind of flimsy, but I mean, when I'm
From
playing Street Fighter, it feels great. So
from what
I
I
love
remember
it.
seeing it on your birthday, it kind of resembles a Genesis controller a
In a
little
way,
bit.
yeah. I didn't
Yeah.
have a Genesis, so I equate it to my SNES controller.
Ah, okay.
And extra buttons.
But yeah, it had like the
Also,
D-pad and then the 6 buttons.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, I want to use it for Destiny now. Have all those buttons right there, and I can configure it too.
Oh,
But
good
like my
luck
Razer, I
gaming.
can't configure it. Yeah, right. Um, and then shout out to my buddy Nate, who I know listens here and there. He put together a tournament for us, for those who play or have played Crisis Protocol, the Marvel Crisis Protocol with like minifigs. I even got some and painted some. He brought all his figures. He set up a roster, and we had 3 mats going. I had 3 matches. My 3 matches were 90 minutes each. I took on my friend Jameson, who's been on the show, my buddy Matt, who's been on the show, and Fernando, who's also been here. So yeah, we should do a Sea of Thieves roundtable if we haven't already. But yeah, good
Interesting, yeah.
matches though. But holy shit, the brain drain after three 90-minute matches throughout the day. A lot of rules to remember, and definitely with Jameson, I won. But in retrospect, I shouldn't have because there were some things I didn't read right. And with Fernando, he won, but I feel like I could have won if I read my character better. And of course, when I got to my last match with Matt, I lost that too. It was like everything clicked. I was like, oh fuck. But then I just got my ass kicked. He has this character called the Immortal Hulk. Basically heals every turn. It's fucking annoying. So
What?
right. So
Just like the
I know
healing
I told
factor?
we had 7 people, so someone kind of got a buy. So I'm hoping Brian can jump in if he's interested and play
Yeah,
some Marvel with us.
I'm willing to relearn. I'm
Yeah,
ready to
it's a
go.
lot of information. So even the first matches, Nate sat out because he had 6 people playing, and me and James were like, "Hey, Nate, what about?" So shout out to him for being very patient with us, and shout out to Matt for letting us be at his spot and play. But yeah, that was fun. Of course, our buddy Adam, who's also been on the podcast, won with his meta ass team, which we expected. But it's we were wondering what could do to balance it better, and that's gonna be hard work for our buddy Nate. But I'm just glad we were able to play and have fun. So, hey, board games,
Would you say that
and I
Crisis
think
Protocol is like your top board game right now?
I think so. Next to D&D, I was just thinking about how like we liked X-wing, but honestly, I don't think we played enough. Like I liked having all the figures, but we didn't play enough. Like, but this one, Nate's like really like we should play or meet up. And now that I have figures and I kind of understand the game more, I do want to play more. And of course, I say I had brain drain that day, but as soon as I got home, I was like, I need a new roster ready to go. I was like, my team's ready. My next
What's the
team,
meta?
I've talked about it before, is going to be like 4 people who throw vibranium shields. So that's going to be fun. Going to
Just
be
gonna be have all
Taskmaster,
captains.
Red Guardian, Captain America, and Sam Wilson, just like being annoying as fuck. Well, we'll see if it works. You never know um, what works and not. So, but yeah, that was cool. But yeah, hopefully you can join us, Brian. No pressure or
Yeah,
anything.
it'll be fun.
But yeah, I actually ordered after that day because someone sent me some birthday money, and yeah, I bought some proxy figures for my teams. So I got a Spider-Man with the spider armor on the way. For those who know, that's one of my favorite Spider-Man, the one with the black and silver armor. I think that's one of the coolest things. and I got some other characters on the way. So, but yeah, that's what I've been up to. Brian, what have you been up to?
Well, Bill, you talked about Street Fighter, but I have been living Tekken. Tekken 8
This
came
guy.
out. Dude, this is the day I've been waiting for, dude. Tekken 8 came out last week. Oh man, I've been having so much fun. I've been getting my
I
ass
just want
kicked
to
a lot.
preface. I was like, "Hey, Ed's coming out soon," like a while ago, or Akuma, and Brian's like, "I don't give a fuck. Tekken 8's on the way." He shot it down immediately. So just so you know, if you didn't know before, Brian is all about that Tekken. I
Oh, I
just care
love
about
Tekken.
Yoshimitsu, and that's it. All right, go ahead, Brian. I just wanted to let
Tekken,
our listeners know.
honestly, I could say Tekken's probably the reason why I really like fighting games. Because I would remember so much, going to our local round table pizza, and while waiting for a pizza, I would like bug my parents for a few quarters to play Tekken 3 because they had a cabinet in the corner. And I would play Tekken as much as I could when we went. But yeah, Tekken 8, oh my god, it's so much fun. I got through this. The story is like a 3 hour story, so I finished that through the first night. But boy, was it a blast. If you wanted like mainline like fighting game that gets super fucking anime, Tekken is your game. Cause it got fucking anime at some point. Like we had like everybody was showing up like it was Smash Brothers. There's a big war like
Oh
breaking
yeah.
out. Everybody's fighting. And of course Jin and Kazuya are doing their whole like devil fights and stuff like that. It's really fun. I have been getting my ass beat in ranked. I'm slowly climbing it. What's nice though is that for the lower ranks for Tekken 8, they don't punish you for losing. So I know for some people it'll be like, oh, they don't punish you. It's like, well, I mean, give us a chance. Have to get up to the higher tiers at some point. But yeah,
Same for
I've
Street
been
Fighter. Same even for Destiny PvP. You got it. Got to start somewhere, y'all. Gotta
yeah.
start somewhere.
But I've been trying to perfect my King game. He is great. He's a little different than how Tekken 7 King played. But all the new mechanics really kind of help like speed up the game. I'll hit my mic. I'm sorry about that, guys, audio listeners. But boy, dude, the shit that you could do in this game is wild. Because for people that don't know, Tekken 8 they introduced the heat system, and basically it's a mode that you can use once per round, and it's supposed to be a kind of way to kind of get yourself into the fight because Tekken is usually the game of kind of like you kind of measure people out and you kind of wait for your moment to attack, and it can be a little bit of a slow game depending on the player. But with the heat system, you get right up into the action. And Joel, if you thought Zangief was a fucking terror, wait until you see King,
Still is.
because his heat combo is literally just an uppercut and a power bomb, and it takes out almost a quarter of your health. It's
Yeah.
fucking devastating. But of course, I've been playing other characters. The new characters, Reina and Azucena are really fun. Bring up a nice fresh mix, and of course, you have a lot of the old mainstays coming back. Well, except for Heihachi, because spoiler alert, he died in Tekken 7. Rip Heihachi.
Until he's back, just like
Until
Bison, Sagat,
until
and the
he's
rest.
back.
He'll come back.
But yeah, I've been having a lot of fun. They have kind of it's not the same, but that kind of is similar but different to how Street Fighter 6 had the World Tour mode. Well, this one has it's called Tekken Arcade, and it's kind of the same thing where you create your own avatar, and there's like a story where basically your character is going from arcade to arcade trying to beat like the top player in the arcade to become like the best Tekken player. And it's kind of someone pointed out how kind of I think I was listening to Kind of Funny podcast. I was feeling that it's kind of like Pokemon, where it's like each arcade's like a gym, and you have to beat like the gym leader of that gym to get to like Tekken Worlds and stuff like that. It's really cool. It's kind of weird because the avatars kind of look like Xbox avatars, like just the kind of style. But it's pretty neat. And then they have like this kind of like how the Street Fighter like online lounge. They have like a Tekken version of that. Yeah, they have like a Tekken version of that where it's just just this open area you can kind of walk around and go up to arcade cabinets and challenge people to fights and stuff like that. It's cool. Yeah, I've been having so much fun. Not gonna lie, I've gotten a little frustrated sometimes. Again, I got perfected twice in a row by this player. Harang and Lee have been like my kryptonite because they know how to low sweep me to oblivion, and it's a fucking frustrating. But that's how you learn. You learn from failure. So I'm gonna keep playing.
Trust me on that one.
And you're talking about Ed, but I'm waiting for Eddie. So that's who I'm waiting for.
I'm waiting for Akuma and the big boys. Honestly,
dude, Akuma's gonna be wild. But yeah, it's gonna be hard because I want to try to balance between SF6 and Tekken 8, but Tekken 8 is a new hotness for me, dude. It's hard.
That's your love, dude.
Yeah. Besides that, I started playing Final Fantasy 16. That's a tongue twister. Final Fantasy 16 again. Now that I've gotten some games out of my to-do list, I'm going back to SF6. I'm gonna or 16. I'm gonna try to beat that.
Can't escape SF6.
Can't escape. That's been fun. I've been really enjoying a 16 story as well, just kind of the gameplay. It's getting pretty interesting. I don't know how far I am into the story, but I just without spoiling anything, I just got my third power. I got my third move set, as it were.
Yeah.
But yeah, the characters are great. Clive is a good lad. And yeah, I'm hoping I'm gonna try to make it a goal to try to finish it by February, by the end of February, hopefully, because I don't have any games coming out in February that I know of, unless if somebody makes a release this thing. I know there's going to be a state of play happening this week, so I don't know what PlayStation's going to announce, because I don't know.
Beautiful Joe 2,
dude. Well, there's already a Beautiful Joe 2. But if there's a new Beautiful Joe game, bruh, I'd be ready. Come on, Capcom. Beautiful Joe needs to come back. Let's be real. Like, I know you guys kind of...
Why is there no Exoprimal Street Fighter crossover? Come on now.
There was a Street Fighter crossover. You mean Beautiful Joe?
Beautiful Joe. Yeah.
Dude, if Zephyr could like do henshins, I'd be ecstatic.
That'd be dope.
But yeah, Final Fantasy 16 is in progress. What else have I been playing?
You did play Baldur's Gate the other day with us.
That's true. We did continue Baldur's Gate. And we finally got to the best girl.
How'd you like that Beholder before you get your next thought?
Dude, the Beholder was fucking brutal. I thought I was gonna die. I don't know why. We walked into like this cavern and there's a Beholder like ready to attack us, and for some reason he decided to attack me multiple times in a row. I was like, bruh.
With crits. It was great.
A lot of crits. I went down at least twice.
I actually rezzed somebody. Somebody like died. I don't remember who, but someone did not. Someone needed a scroll of revivification.
I think that was me. I think I died. because that
Was
sounds
it
right.
that fight or another fight? I don't remember.
I
I
mean,
just remember I was
I
like,
think I've
"Oh,
died
here we go."
twice. Yeah.
They did not
Um,
like you.
no, but yeah, we met Carlac, you know,
Hell yeah.
she's awesome. Gotta be her best friend. But yeah, I've been enjoying Baldur's Gate. I think it's funny that we we just found out that we can set it so that we can all see the cutscene when it happens instead of missing
Yeah.
story. Because
Yeah.
because to be honest, that was like one of the things I was like I was kind of bumming out about. It was like, man, I'm like
Yeah.
missing all these cutscenes and stuff. And then I think it was Matt who was saying, "It's like, oh, I think there's a setting in this." I was like, "What? Oh, fuck!"
Yeah.
So that was cool. So we fixed that problem. So that's better.
We're gonna need
But
it soon. We're gonna need it.
oh yeah, dude.
They're filling a lot of blanks soon.
I don't think we made it to level 5 yet. I think we're
No,
about
I
to.
wanted you guys to get to level 5. I feel like the game vastly improves when you can either get the spells at level 5, or if you're like a fighter or whatever, get 2 attacks. So it makes a huge difference.
Okay. I'm sure we'll get that in our next session for sure. What else did I do? I mean, I've been grinding away at Pokemon Scarlet, trying to catch all the new Pokemons. Um, oh, I went to a hockey game for the first time in a long time.
Nice.
I got invited to go to a Sharks game, which was fun.
Hell yeah.
It's been a very long time. I used to back when we had a local American League hockey team. Like my parents used to take me to the Spiders a lot. And then after that, just kind of never went to a game. And so, like for the first time in my adult life, I went to a hockey game, and it was actually really fun.
Nice.
Uh, I it was kind of weird because uh, it was the same night as the Niners won one of their game. So there was a lot of people in the crowd at in San Jose watching the Niners game while the Sharks game was going on, and it was so surreal because like you guys spent like at least $80 to come watch a game on your phone or at the
Yeah.
bar. But then when I believe when the Niners won, a lot of people started cheering, and it became like a big deal. And it was cool because I didn't know that they'll put up like if like the Niners are playing at the same time, they'll put the scores up on like the big screen.
That's cool.
And so like they showed like they won and stuff, and everybody was cheering and stuff, and it was fun. But yeah, it was an interesting experience. For the day, I got to feel like a sports fan.
Nice.
Uh, which is funny because uh less than a month's time, I'm going back to the same place for wrestling. So that's it's going to
Hell
be
yeah.
fun. But yeah, watched the Royal Rumble this past Saturday. Actually, that was a fun time. I went to our friend Kevin from Round Two Gaming. He had a Royal Rumble viewing party, and we had a lot of
Nice.
fun. A few surprises. Some returns. Well, nobody lost their titles. There's only 2 title matches. But the Royal Rumble matches were a lot of fun. The women's one was really fun. That one had the most surprises in it.
Hell yeah.
Also, what's interesting is I guess now because like the WWE is now owned by Endeavor, which owns the UFC and other stuff. Another wrestling company, TNA,
Impact.
they have a deal with Endeavor for their streaming rights for their streaming platform. And so during the women's Royal Rumble match, their women TNA's women's champion came out like with
It's
her
pretty
belt,
cool.
and like they announced her like as like the TNA Knockouts champion. It's like, oh, that's fucking sick. They've they've only done that once before, but it was with somebody that was already in the company before. So it was like a kind of like a special deal kind of like thing. But like this is like this person's never been on WWE TV. Jordan Grace, she's never been on WWE TV before. Um, Another wrestler, Naomi, came back, and she was from TNA, so like I guess there was like that connection there. But it was super cool. It's like really nice to see this kind of commingling starting to happen more often. It makes for really special moments for wrestling fans.
Nice.
But yeah, Bailey won. Hometown hero from San Jose won the Royal Rumble. So
yeah.
She's going to WrestleMania, so that's cool. Got that Bay Area pride going, which is always fun.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, had a really good time. And besides that, you know, we've been preparing for the chase for the title, so that's been my week, man. I'm ready.
I do want to say I think today got a little better because I never thought to see this, but Brian messaged me right when I saw it. Destiny has been doing really good with their collabs.
Yes.
They had at first an Assassin's Creed collab, which caught me off guard, honestly. I know they did Fortnite, so I should have been prepared for that. But I was like, oh, that's dope. You have Altair, Eivor, and another person. I think someone else. I already forgot who. There's like three different.
Altair, Eivor, and
I think it was Cassandra, actually. I think.
Cassandra.
Yes. Yeah, so that was cool. I still need to get that finisher and some of those. Then they had a Witcher one, which I really enjoyed. Big fan of Witcher 3 in the show. So I still have to get that finisher. I like the armor. They just had an event where the community had to get 777,777 sword kills for an emblem, and they did it. So free emblem, everyone, yay! And of course, today didn't expect because it's a long break until their next content drops. So they're sprinkling in some things, and they have a fucking Mass Effect collab. I was like, what? So they have the Hunter looking like Garrus. They have the Titan looking like Shepard is classic N7 armor. And then the Warlock is looking like Liara. So that's really cool. They even have like a ship that looks like the Normandy, a Sparrow that looks a little bit like the Mako. I just never expected that collab. So that's really cool.
It's really cool.
And then Ben joked, one of our buddies was like, Joel, they're trying so hard to keep you still. I laughed at that. I was like, my relationship with Destiny is very back and forth. I was like, damn, they really are trying to keep me. But yeah, just really cool gaming wise. But yeah.
So something I looked on the post that I sent you earlier today. It said that the Ghost Shell, the ship, and the Sparrow will be available at no cost.
I saw that too. I'm like, after we buy the skin, I'm like, what's the
like I'm assuming there's going to be like a skin, maybe like an emote or a finisher that you have to buy, but then like the other stuff is free.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It's still a good deal. Yeah. I'm just curious what the finisher is. Usually they have a cool finisher. I don't remember what Fortnite's was if they had one, but the Assassin's Creed one, you pull out a hidden blade and you stab someone, and the Witcher you cast I think it's Agni or whatever, and then you do a sword, the classic Witcher slash.
There was the Kratos one that had the Blades of Chaos.
Yeah, that one was sick.
That one's really sick.
Oh, I have to get that one too. They dropped that with the PlayStation collab. Yeah, that happened too. They had like a Kratos alloy and like a character from Ghost of Tsushima collab. I forgot about that.
And they had like Last of Us vehicles.
Yeah, the Cordyceps ship and Sparrow and Ghost. Yeah, I'm just curious what the finisher will be for Mass Effect. I'm guessing it's you with your Omniblade. You like stab them.
That's probably one of them. If they do finishers for each class, maybe there will be like an Omni tool for Titans, maybe some kind of like biotic blast for Warlocks, and then
Hunters get a sniper rifle like Garrus. That'd be dope. I would.
Oh, maybe. Or maybe some kind of like tech ability. What's a famous like Overload maybe?
Overload would be pretty cool. I mean, there's so much, right? I mean, there is like you have Frost and Mass Effect. I guess you could do like some stasis one that would tie in. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
possibly.
that was just really cool. It's like, oh, nice. Yeah, that was a cool announcement. But yeah,
Very
Disney trying hard
unexpected.
to keep me. Yeah, I still haven't bought the final shape.
We
Yeah,
have time. We don't need to worry
we
about
have
it.
time. Yeah, it's fucking months away. Yeah.
What else was there? Those are like some quick things that we had listed. I don't know if we talked about this in the last. I don't think we did, but they released the dates for Bad Batch,
Oh,
the
we didn't talk
final
about that.
season. So they confirmed it's the
All
final
right.
season.
All right, so we're gonna go into some quick spoilers really quick. So if you have not watched the trailer, scrub past this shit. All right. So anyway, dude, fucking Filoni doing the impossible, bringing back people from the dead. I did not expect to see Asajj Ventress one more time. That was whoo! What a bomb that was.
So
Damn. If
from
it's
what
her,
I
might be a vision.
from what I read, apparently the report is saying that Filoni mentioned that Dark Disciple is still canon,
I saw that.
which
Yeah.
which can be confusing if because Dark Disciple happens during the Clone Wars.
Yes.
Ventress dies in Dark Disciple, but Bad Batch is obviously after the Clone Wars. So it's
Yeah.
kind of like it raises the question of like, is this? I'm wondering. Let me keep on this thought. Like you were saying, that it might be a vision. What if we get to see a certain Jedi
Oh,
come
my
back?
boy, Quinlan Voss, my boy.
I mean, that's the only way it makes sense. As far as we know, at least as far as the Obi-Wan series is concerned, he's still somewhere.
Yeah.
Like it's very possible that the Bad Batch could run into Quinlan Voss while he's maybe like building up you know, the group that like tries to save Jedi and like force sensitive people.
The Path or
Maybe?
something. Is that what they're called?
I think it's called The Path. But I mean,
I
it's
will
very
say,
possible.
with the Night Sisters, they deal with bringing people back from the dead a lot. So, not impossible
I mean,
that Dathomir's daughters are doing some
the
funky
only
shit.
issue is most of the most of the Night Sisters are already fucking dead.
And save one or two, right? Yeah, but yeah.
Yeah, besides
So I'm wondering how they're gonna
Little
fix
Marin
that.
somewhere out there.
Yeah, yeah. I know.
I don't know.
Yeah.
So
Well,
many
if
questions.
anything, I trust the team that's working on Bad Batch to make it great. Or is
Wait,
it twin trope from anime? This is
twin trope.
Barrage Ventress, not Asajj Ventress.
So what's really cool is that we're getting 15 episodes
Hell
for the
yeah.
final season. Uh, the premieres on the 21st of February, which they're releasing the first three episodes at once on the 21st.
Three-parter.
They're releasing two episodes on March 13th and then two episodes on April 3rd. And then the rest will be like one episode a week. But we're going all the way to May 1st for the series finale. So we're getting at least 3 months worth of Bad Batch.
Oh
That's
yeah.
like they want to go out big, hopefully. And I think
And I
they
think they
will.
will. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, well timed before May 4th, Star Wars Day. I'm sure they're gonna drop something. We haven't had like a big announcement in a minute. We've had few things here and there, but I'm sure they're gonna have people all feeling good after Bad Batch or not feeling good, and then they're gonna drop something.
For my birthday, Dave Filoni's probably gonna make me cry. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
okay with that because he does a good job doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I forgot to tell you. This kind of goes back into my week. Me along with Ben dipped our feet into
Oh
Power
yeah, that's
World,
right. Yeah.
the very controversial game at the moment, apparently.
Tell us
So,
about it.
so for people that don't know what Power World is, you might know it by another name that people like to call it, Pokemon with guns. Um,
Digimon?
I guess technically, when you look at it, Digimon has more guns compared to Power World, so you're not wrong. Uh, so Joel, this game is interesting. It's a game preview, so it's not the full release. It's a work in progress kind of game. Um, so the history of the studio. All right. Let's see. Pocket Pair, I believe, is the name of the studio. They have a very interesting history with their previous games using generative AI, and the the CEO, being okay with AI, has led to a lot of conversations about this game, especially when it comes to the comparisons between Power World and Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
Um, from what it seems like, Power World doesn't have any AI in it, and they've said that they didn't use AI for anything in the game. So take it for what you will. But as far as like when me and Ben have played, you know, nothing seems like fishy in that regard as far as AI is concerned. I know there have been some bad faith, uh, you know, arguments coming out in the week that it released, or the game preview released. Um, some that have been proven to be falsified, and some that have yet to be proven whether it is true or not. So basically, this whole entire conversation is kind of like a grain of salt kind of thing. It's like you know, you know, show me the facts when it comes out kind of deal.
Mm-hmm.
And we're playing on Game Pass, so we didn't pay anything for it, but I think Steam players, um, this game like accrued so much money in like the small period of time
Mm-hmm.
it's been out. Like I think it's been like the hundreds of millions, or maybe not hundreds of millions, but it's gotten a pretty penny so far. Um,
Big following.
but that's a developing story. I personally don't feel like I want to talk about it, just because so far a lot of the arguments are hard to prove whether they're false or not.
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of feels like it's a waste of time kind of talking about it, at least right now, until I think uh Nintendo said they might be investigating it, even though the game has already gone through kind of like a check through the systems that you have to release a game, especially on console. So take that opinion as well, whether you feel about it. That's your thing. Now, for my experience with the game, um, I have been having stupid fun with this game. I haven't played it like hard and serious. I just been kind of casually playing the game. I do tend to believe that the people that say that it's just Pokemon with guns, kind of just call it that based on face value, and just because it became a very catchy description for the game. Um, the only thing similar about it in Pokemon is that you catch monsters in little balls, or I guess in Power they call them spheres, call them Pal spheres. That's really the only similarity to Pokemon, because there's like 100 and something pals in the world. Um, None of them can evolve. They can level up and learn moves, but that's kind of all they can do. And then they work at your camp. You give them tasks to do at your camp, where there's like chopping wood, you know, mining stone, farming, planting, watering, that kind of stuff. It's very more of a survival game than it is like a monster collection game.
That's
Like
what I've heard.
like the monster collection thing is kind of feels like a tertiary, like important. Like you use that in order to make your crafting and building a lot easier and smoother. There are enemies in the world that you can fight. There's like a mini like mission branch. They have to go fight these. It's like this hideout of a bunch of like kind of like your Team Rockety kind of people, but they're just kind of like hoodlums
Mm.
that just are around to like create havoc and stuff like that. So that's one thing. Uh, for being a game preview, is very surprising how put together it feels. Like I know they've been working on it for a few years already, but there's some jank to it, but it doesn't feel as janky as other game previews I played before, which is kind of surprising. Um, there's there's definitely inspiration from Pokemon, and they've said so themselves. Like they for their PAL creatures, they're inspired by Pokemon. And there's some PALs that you look at them and like you look like that Pokemon, with like
I've seen some of the side by sides
and like different and you know you know 10% difference maybe is the rule of law here. I don't know. That's not for me to say. There are some cool looking ones that look very original, which are nice. And at least for like the catching portion, it definitely gives Legend Arceus vibes.
Oh.
As far as like you're able just to walk around the world and there's just pals everywhere, and you can just try to catch them like off the bat on your own. They can try to sneak up behind them to kind of like increase your success. And then if that doesn't work, you can throw out one of your pals and just have them fight while you just roam around freely. There's no like sucking you into like a battle like how Pokemon does. Everything is open in the open world. There are raids and like caverns you can go into that take you into like a different, part of the map, but everything else is just in the open world. It's like I said, it's like a stupid fun game. It's If you have Game Pass, it's worth a try, especially because right now console and PC Game Pass can crossplay. Steam cannot. They are working on
Interesting.
it, but that's how me and Ben been playing. He's been on PC, I've been on console. The game seems to be running just as well on either or, so you're not gonna. I think the only difference is that I think as of right now, PC can have more people on a server than console can. And that's just based off of limitations at the moment. But they said they are working to improve the console version so it can get up to that point. I don't remember how many.
in this game?
Not at the moment, but there might be in the future.
Okay.
As of right now, you can't really fight each other. At least we haven't tried. So I don't.
Yeah.
I don't know about that, but I know they said that having PvP was a thing that they want to add to the game. So like I said, this is a game preview. Don't expect a full game. Don't expect a perfect game. But if any of like the discourse about this game the past like week or two have caught your eye and you're feeling a little curious and you have Game Pass, go for it. I think on Steam it's only $30 if you don't really care. But I mean, if you're into like if you're into an easy survival game with a little bit of Pokemon-ness added to it, go play it. Try it out.
And this is coming from a Pokemon fan. One of the big ones I know.
I fucking love Pokemon. I love Pokemon almost to a fault, depending on who you ask. But like I'm looking at this game and I know it's not trying to be Pokemon. It just has some hard inspiration from Pokemon, but it's not gonna do anything. It's not gonna force Pokemon to try to do better. I hope Pokemon tries to do better because I can't sit here and say the games haven't been stellar. I still love to play them because I'm just a freak. But
A freak.
I'm a freak. But I think a lot of the people that are very extreme on this situation, I think needs to take a chill pill. Because I've seen some people that are like hardcore Pokemon fans that are just like super bashing on Power World. Very obviously they haven't played it at all. And it's like it's fine if you don't want to play it, but you know, you don't need to defend Daddy Nintendo and Daddy Pokemon Company. They sure damn well can handle themselves. They've handled themselves in the past. They will handle themselves in the future. Don't worry about them. But
Do you think it does a lot of things okay, but not one thing great? That's what I saw an article say. I haven't played it. I don't know, but you said it's like dumb fun, which I mean that's sometimes what we want. We don't want like a world-ending thinker all the time, but I feel like at least the article said it does a lot of things that it copied. I mean, copied, right, being the word, but it wasn't like strong in one particular sense. I'm just wondering, you actually played it. Do you feel like that statement's true? I mean, I'm just trying to gauge from the other side here.
I think it's not too far off to say that it doesn't do everything perfect, but like I said before, it's a open it's an early access game, so
Yeah.
not expecting it to do anything perfect.
Mhm.
As far as like the feel of like the catching aspect, like the monster collecting aspect, it does okay. Like I said, if you play Pokemon Legends Arceus, it kind of feels like that. It might be just a little bit more stiff than you might like, but if you like how Arceus feels, like that is somewhat similar. I think compared to other survival games, I feel like this one is more lenient as far as how easy and how hard it is to build things. Especially when you add the pals in, because the pals, once you start getting your camp up and running and you have like a group of your pals that stay at the base at all times, like you start accruing materials like nobody's business, and they keep doing it even if you leave. So
That's cool.
as long as you get like all the amenities handled so like they can take care of themselves, they will take care of themselves, which is great. I'm sure it will probably improve in the future. But I would say what it does, I feel like what it does really well is that it doesn't put a lot of the pressure on you as far as like the survival building goes. It's very simple. It's not intuitive, but it's simple. I'll put it that way.
Okay.
Yeah. So, hey, if you want to try Power World, got a server up and running. Can join our server.
There you go.
But yeah, I just wanted to mention that because I know Power World has been a pretty hefty topic recently.
Mm-hmm.
There was a little bit more news today about it. So Joel, did you, before we get into Echo, because I know we should get into Echo, but
Hell yeah.
right before we get into that, Avatar: The Last Airbender
Oh
live
yeah, they
action.
dropped their trailer. The
They
live
dropped a
action.
trailer. Trailer
Did you
looks
watch it?
good. I watched it.
Okay. You
Oh yeah,
watched. Yeah. It looks pretty
looks
clean.
it looks pretty good. Um, it looks like artistic wise, it looks like it's doing a really good job.
Mm-hmm.
I mentioned the news because there was news today that had some people kind of kind of question where the show's going. Apparently they made a statement saying that they were putting less emphasis on Sokka's sexism
I
arc.
saw that. Yeah. Yeah.
Apparently they're like dampering down on like the sexism that Sokka does during the whole what were they called, the Kyoshi Warriors?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So I've seen a, a few people kind of like question like why they're doing that. I mean, I can kind of understand why they're doing that, and I can also
Yeah. Yeah.
understand from like hardcore fans why it's weird that they don't have more emphasis on that, because it's like a big
Mm-hmm.
part of Sokka's arc in like the early half.
Yeah.
I just kind of wanted to get your opinion because I don't know. I actually never gauged it between us which one is like a bigger Avatar Last Airbender fan, because I came into it very late.
So did I.
Okay,
Sarah and I
so
didn't watch it till we were like, I don't know, 24, 25. It just so happened the DVDs were on sale. We're like, okay, we'll give it a shot. It's cheap, like,
yeah,
and we just like, wow, it's phenomenal. They take all these worldly topics and condense it for kids in a beautiful and digestible way, and I really loved it. And then Korra, I feel like, is even better in some respects. I mean,
I
you
think
gotta
Korra gets
give
too much
love.
hate.
It does. People are really like, this isn't Aang's story. I'm like, no shit, it's Korra's. But we could go on a whole discussion
The
about
Legend
that.
of Korra.
Yeah. But I get it's like the people protective of their Pokemon, people are protective of Avatar, and it's like that's literally the same
Yeah,
universe. Calm down. But I think, yeah, I like Korra in some ways way more. You grow up, right? And I think that's why I liked it. It's like I can see why people who love this grew up with it, but then like Korra's like, I feel like I was really in it as like an adult, like Korra was, or
yeah,
a teenager kind of.
because I think at least for us, we didn't hook on to the Last Airbender when it was coming out and around.
Yeah, yeah,
I know Alessa was big
yeah,
fan of Avatar Last Airbender, but I didn't
mhm,
get into it until after it was done. And I
yeah,
actually, kind of like you, I didn't start getting into like the Avatar world until Korra came out, and like Korra was like my like Avatar,
yeah.
So so we're kind of on the even ground. So I'm curious of what your opinion is about like that news that came out today about.
I think it's interesting. I mean, I could see why, like, do we have to expand upon this? But also, I feel like Sokka is a great character, and to see him grow is a good thing. So it's like a mixed bag. I'm still caught on that, like his family trying to falsify his like native ancestry. It still weirds me out.
Oh, the
I
actor.
still think about that in the back of my head. But hey, whatever. It looks like he's having fun. I'm not gonna think about it too much. It's an Avatar show, right? But I don't know. Just if, but it does raise the question: if they do this, what else have they done? And the original showrunners walked away too early.
Yeah.
I mean, not early, but you know what I mean? A while ago. So it's like, people are saying it looks better than M. Night Shyamalan. Well, I mean,
Oh,
yeah,
it
it looks
does
better,
for
but we'll
sure.
see.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
Guarantee.
like visually, yeah, and of course, Daniel Day Kim, Arden Cho. People are like, I'm watching it for the plot, and they show them. I mean, but we'll just have to see. And they
Hmm.
have a lot, it looks like, to get through, and that's just book one if they're successful. But people, just don't get your hopes up. Netflix is fucking weird about what they keep and don't keep. So
Yeah.
just be careful. Like the show Sarah and I were watching with Nate Isabel called Shadow and Bone. Honestly, I think that set the framework for Avatar, because they had this like ice, fire, shadowy kind of elemental attacks. I was like, oh, that's how they got it. This show to show off, right? But they canceled it, and it's a decent story. A nice young adult novel converted, and I like the characters in it and stuff, and it was easy for me to get in it. Same thing for another show for more adult audience. Cyberpunky was Altered Carbon. That was really good. Also based on a book. Canceled. So they have a lot to live up to, but also just that's my thing. Like Netflix is weird. Just look at The Witcher, right? That's why Henry Cavill walked away, and he fucking like was made for that role of Witcher seasons 1, 2, and 3. Like
Yeah.
he fucking made that show. Of course, the other actresses, actors, they did great. Writers, of course, but it just if he was really invested and then walks away because he doesn't like it, that kind of raises questions. But yeah, I'll give Liam Hemsworth a chance too. It's like, damn, he did a really fucking good job. So
he really went to bat for the Witcher franchise,
yeah,
and the writers just didn't want to listen. And I think one
yeah,
of the writers
and
also left too because of that.
yeah. So
So
it's just interesting. Like, I get you want to make your own path and your own mark, but it's like a weird thing to walk. Like, this has a beloved fan base. You got to be careful how you do it, right? I mean, just
and
look
you
at. I
might
mean,
just throw it all away.
yeah, that too. I mean, look at Cowboy Bebop. I gave it a chance. It's rough. I mean, I liked it, but I could see why it was not well received at any point. Like, I get it.
Yeah.
I'm very forgiving. Well, in that regard, at least. But and then you have One Piece, right? Like, I don't know shit about One Piece, but our buddy Jameson thought they did a great job, and he's seen like 1,000 episodes of the original.
It is
So
really good. And
I
and
still need
Yu
to
Yu
finish the
Hakusho was
finale,
okay.
but yeah, I haven't seen that one. I'm probably not going to watch it, but I don't know.
Watch the first 2 episodes.
Just
The first 2 episodes are fantastic. They're
okay.
great.
I'll keep that in mind. But yeah. Long answer because I just want to cover all the things. Like, I don't know, man. To be completely honest, like,
So I did look it up, and Avatar, the Netflix Avatar, The Last Airbender, is only getting 8 episodes.
well, that's a
So
lot of work to do in 8 episodes.
so what I'm wondering, the news that came out today, I'm wondering if that's a sign that maybe Sokka's part is getting cut down. So maybe the reason why they're like
Yeah,
lowering that kind of whole arc for him is because they're kind of like, we know the Kyoshi Warriors are going to be in it, but maybe
yeah.
like his part in that is not going to be as significant as it was in the original
Yeah,
like
yeah.
like animated series. That's one possibility. I don't know. Well, like I said, the 22nd, we'll have to see when it comes out.
Yeah.
But fingers
What are
crossed.
you thinking?
They could do it. If they could do it with One Piece, hopefully they learned from other people's past mistakes and do it okay enough to get it. I don't know.
What are you thinking? Otherwise, like, same, maybe gonna give it a shot. I mean, I'm gonna give it a shot still, but
Oh, I'm gonna watch. I mean, I live in a house with a Avatar: Last Airbender like mega fan. I'm gonna watch it regardless.
yeah, we're gonna watch it too.
So we'll see. And I'm sure once it comes out, we will definitely talk about it in more depth when it does come out.
Oh yeah. I'm
But
sure Marcel will want to be there. His dog's name is
for
Azula.
sure, that's true. But for now, we should get in depth with Marvel's Echo.
Oh, dude. Oh.
Um,
I guess I'll just say,
yeah. Before we go into
spoilers.
Well, I guess before we go into spoilers, just like kind of give your vague like kind of impression.
I really enjoyed it. I think what they did with this character who had a big impact who's a side character in a previous show, and they expanded upon her story in a great way, believable way, and in new ways that they haven't done with Marvel characters. So I really appreciated what they did. And they connect other characters from kind of a disconnected universe and solidify that connection. Like, oh, this character, I mean, they've been around, but it's like they're for sure they're here now. Like, there's no doubt about it. If it seemed like this show wasn't canon, no, they're here for now. But yeah, I enjoyed it. From a technical thing though, I feel like they did her dirty. She needed more time, I think. But I mean, I guess it's like
5
she's
episodes
kind of
is a very short time.
Short time, no longer than 45 minutes each episode. I was just telling my wife Sarah, I was like, yeah, they did her dirty. She should have had at least maybe 8 episodes, 9, but um what they did, what they work with, I could see how it's like kind of short, sweet works, right? But I feel like there could have been more, but I guess it just shows like I really
Yeah.
liked it and want more. Um, and we're at that point where people should start showing up more, even for a little bit. And I feel like they could have done that more with this character because we've already seen it that way with her, even intro as a character, right? I think we could have seen that more, but we did get a good, nice dose of other
Interesting.
people come in.
I feel
So
like that's interesting because I personally, for me, I am kind of glad they kept it to, besides like the little sprinkles in the beginning, like they
yeah,
kept it
yeah,
more for Maya, because I feel
yeah,
like this was like an opportunity just to kind of show what she's about. And I'm glad they didn't kind of like hamper it down because we already got a big dose of Kingpin. Like
yeah, yeah.
that's not a spoiler. That's we all knew that Kingpin was in this show. It is in the trailer.
Hmm.
Um, but to kind of have him there, I think was good enough to like kind of weave it into like what is going to be the street level like Avengers or street level like Marvel heroes for the
Hmm.
MCU. Um,
Defenders.
Defenders. Um, but yeah, I personally really I like Echo as a character. I think what they did with her was interesting. Um, I'll go over to how I feel more about it when we get into spoilers, just because there are some choices that I don't dislike, but I thought were intriguing, to say the least. But overall, I really liked it. I'm glad that this kind of show exists. I'm glad that there is more indigenous representation, and also
Hmm.
the actors they got for the show were fucking great. Like all the side
Yeah.
characters, I thought were really fun and really
Ensemble were
good.
strong and fun. Yeah.
Um, but yeah, besides that, with that being said, let us get into spoiler talk. Oh, it's in the
You've
background.
been
Oh shit.
warned. I'm gonna jump into a spoiler right fucking away. So if you have not seen Echo, you should. Short and sweet and fun and fucking gory, honestly. Fucking good choreography. But yeah,
It's
you've been
pretty
warned.
gory, surprisingly.
Yeah, yeah.
There we go. There's the spoiler. There's the spoiler tag.
Hmm.
Spoiler warning.
Um, I just want to say, for first episode, I know people are. This is the problem that I've been waiting to talk about. So, first episode, you're introducing a character people might not be familiar with, right? So
Oh
then you
yeah.
have a problem of I need to watch all these shows to get familiar with her. Not necessarily. They have a lot of great recap footage. But then you have people who've
Yeah.
been on board, who are dedicated fans, like, why do we have all this recap footage? People are fatigued. They don't want to watch all this shit. So I feel like
I
it's a
understand.
hard place to be in. Like I
Yeah.
understand both sides, honestly. Um, but I feel it's just tough. Yeah, I mean, it's
Well,
now
it's kind
like
of
the
like
comics, right? This is
yeah.
there for you to jump in if you don't know, right? If you've been here for along the ride, cool.
It's
Just enjoy it.
it's the cinematic version of how if you were to read an issue of a comic or a trade, and
Yeah,
the characters reference something that happened in the past, they have the asterisk, and then like, oh, check out this issue if you want to
yeah,
hear more about this shit. It's kind of like
yeah,
that, where I know
yes,
that in a visual sense, it kind of can be like, I already, if someone's been watching all everything, it's like, I've seen
yeah,
this already. I don't need to see it. It's like, well,
yeah, yeah,
some people haven't, and that's just kind of
yeah,
the give and take we have to do. I think it was really nice to be able to kind of see,
yeah. Jog your memory, honestly.
yeah, because I mean, what Hawkeye was, what, almost 2 years ago at this point?
Yeah,
It was in 2022, so it's been a little bit, and we got to see Daredevil for a quick
hell
minute.
yeah,
So that was neat. It's kind of connecting more, and he looked more like his Netflix version, which was interesting. Because last time we
yeah,
saw him, he
yeah.
was in his bright yellow, which a lot of people didn't like. It was okay.
Which is his classic outfit, which is funny.
It's a classic outfit.
But yeah, we got like the Netflix original Daredevil look, and with very good choreography, I have to add, not just for him too, because of course I was like, oh shit, it's Daredevil, but we have also like Echo kicking ass, and this is this episode specifically with that was showing us like, oh shit, they're ready to do some actiony, gory shit. Because she's like kicking ass, brutalizing people. She has a shotgun. Daredevil's fucking people up too. So that was a nice throw in. And I just want to say, even though they have the recap footage, it flows well how they do it too. It's not like all at once. Now here's some new stuff. No, they pepper it in, and it's edited well in there too. Just want
Mm-hmm.
to say that too.
One thing I wanted to mention, I think it's very interesting, because this is the first TVMA like MCU proper project. Because I know like they've adopted like the Netflix shows and those are like
Mhm.
TVMA, but this is like the first actual like one that they've made.
Yeah.
Um, I find it interesting that they actually treated it like a show because it felt more like the Netflix shows than it did the Disney Plus other Marvel shows because it had
Yeah.
like an actual traditional like intro with
Hmm.
actual like music and like it felt like I was watching it on TV, you know.
Hmm.
Um, so I want to ask you this, since it is the MCU's first like TVMA show, how do you think they did? Did you feel like it was, just about right, or was it not enough? Because I've seen some people say like it's like for a TVMA show, like this wasn't that bad.
I can agree. Definitely some of the violent fights, like in episode 1 and I think episode 3, they're in the bowling alley. Like she fucking like Maya's,
Bowling
yeah,
Alley was a fucking
she fucking kicks ass, and she does some bloody ass shit. She's like busting people up, and bowling balls and shit. It's woo, you know, through the glass. I think Disney knows they're still Disney. Like they had to pull back a little, but they still like show like, oh, we know we have a mature rating. We're gonna use it.
hmm
I think it was honestly just the right amount for this show. Like any more, it would have been a little ridiculous. I was still like, ooh, like a couple moments, I was like, like cringing a little. Like I got it, ooh. But yeah, I think it was just right. What do you think?
Uh, I mean, personally for me, I thought they they used it when it mattered. It wasn't overdone because
Yeah.
I think that's the issue with a lot of like mature rated projects like shows or what have you, is that sometimes they use that as like a marketing like catch was like, well, we're TDMA, so we're gonna be doing all this shit, and they kind of like overdo it. Where I think here they used it when it count. Like there's what the first episode where you see like they fucking zoom in on like Maya's fucking bullet wound on her
Hmm.
side, and like they fucking they show you when it counts. And like you said, the bowling alley, the roller rink scene.
There you go.
This is
Roller
her
rink.
fucking.
Not bowling alley. Whoops.
I mean, it's they're very similar. It's very old. Um, but yeah, they show it where it counts for sure.
Hmm.
Um, for me, I think I do agree that they should have. If they couldn't commit to more than 5 episodes, they should have made the middle episodes, like episodes 2 to 4, like longer than 36 minutes. Because that's what
Hmm.
I was surprised. The first episode's like an hour long, and like the
Yeah.
rest of them are barely over half an hour.
Yeah.
Um, uh, let's see. What did you think about the new cast of characters?
I really enjoyed them. I like how like they're part of who she is and her family, and they're there for her even if she doesn't want them to be, and they help her. And everyone did a great job. How it was written and acted. It was to me at least believable and fun. And it just made that community like like it felt like it was really built well, like as far as world building and knowing your place and your people and everything. It was cool, and then the filling of history, and how that comes in later, like the important people in our lives, how that connects. That I everyone had their part to play, and then they did great. I honestly don't have too many notes for that, or if any. Um, yeah.
I After watching the show, as far as side characters go, I have two MVPs that I want to shout out. First one obviously is Biscuits.
Yeah,
Biscuits
he's an
is
MVP.
he is like the best. He deserves to be in like that top tier of like sidekick, like side character in the MCU. Like
Hmm.
he was so much fun. Like he's obviously like the very like innocent cousin, trying to make
Hmm.
sure he's doing the right thing. A lot of people kind of
Yeah,
talk shit to him, but he's always fun. And his
Biscuit has heart. That's what it is.
his
Biscuit has
heart.
heart.
And his dog, was it Billy Jack?
Yeah, yeah.
His dog Billy Jack. Come on, Billy Jack. But yeah, I loved Biscuits. Biscuits was super fun. And I love that his whole, because I was kind of worried that he was gonna be like a scapegoat character,
Oh yeah, I
like
could see
something was
that.
good, like something bad was gonna happen to him. And I love that for the majority of his time in the series, it was just him trying to figure out how to fix Chula's car or
Yeah, yeah.
Chula's truck. It's like, it was cute. It was fun. The other MVP is Scully, the pawn shop owner.
Yeah.
Scully was fucking great. Um, of course, one of my favorite scenes he's in, of course, is Oklahoma. They're in a very indigenous community town, and Scully has two customers, obviously very,
Oh yeah.
very white customers, come in, and
Shit
he's
was cracking
giving
me up.
giving a whole like bullshit like Native American like speech about like this incense burner that's he's just trying to sell. I caught it right away, and I had to tell Alessa afterwards. But when he starts doing a chant like over the incense burner, he starts singing, "Come on, buy it, come on, buy it,
Oh
come
yeah,
on, buy
yeah,
it." I
yeah.
was
I
like, "Oh my fucking god!" That's
remember.
so. I laughed so fucking hard. It was great. And it's like I could imagine that happening anywhere in the, in the United States. It's they like for me. I feel like they did such a good job of having. I don't know if they had like I can't like a special counsel or what, but I felt like they did a very decent job of making sure that the representation for indigenous people felt very like authentic, you know
Nice.
especially
Good to hear.
especially like when they got to the end where they had like the whole powwow, like that looked really cool. Like honestly, I looked at that and was like, man, I want to fucking go to that shit. That looks fucking fun. I know we're kind of like jumping around, but I
Yeah.
wanted to point out because like everything kind of builds up, the confrontation between Maya and Kingpin kind of comes to a head
Yeah.
at the big yearly powwow, right?
Hmm.
And this little beat that I kind of didn't notice at the time, but then after like looking back, I thought it was very interesting where you know Maya's kind of like hiding out within like the dancing circle,
Hmm.
and she's deaf, so she can't really hear the music at all. And the whole
Yeah.
point is like you're supposed to kind of go with the music. And it was a very touching moment to where like that was the moment when Maya truly connected with her indigenous roots, where even though she wasn't able to really hear the music, her heart
Mhm.
started to kind of go to the rhythm of like the drum
Yeah,
circle,
yeah.
and then like she was able to get in sync with the music. That was fucking cool. um there was an interview on Jimmy Fallon. Loco Cox was on Jimmy Fallon, and she said that, you know, like a lot of people on the crew learn sign language, you know, to kind of like help the process a lot. And then there were scenes
Mhm.
like with the Kingpin where the Kingpin doesn't learn sign language because he's the Kingpin. He doesn't give a fuck. So
He has a cheat code.
he's a
See
cheat
it in the
code.
show.
That was actually a really interesting way to do it,
Yeah.
for a small bit. But for the scenes acting, she said that because the Kingpin doesn't do sign language, so she has to figure out when it's her turn to talk, or her turn to
Yeah,
like
yeah.
sign, or do her part. So they fashioned a little vibrating device that she kept like in a pocket, like on her chest, and
Yeah.
then her interpreter would be off to the side, and when the interpreter would know when it was her turn to speak, or her turn
Yeah.
to, you know, do her action, and so she would click it, and then there'd be a little vibration to have Alakwa know that it's her turn. And apparently, I mean, according to them, that was like brand new shit that they haven't tried before, which is kind of wild, but also shows that you don't really have that much deaf representation in acting, I guess, as far
Yeah.
as we know. So I thought that
Yeah.
was actually really interesting. Like they actually found ways to make everything work and have it be like accessible and approachable, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, those are my little tidbits that I found out about this show.
That's cool. I feel like that should be a thing more to give more deaf actors a chance. That's really cool.
Oh yeah. And I'm sure they'll probably use it a lot more,
Oh yeah.
because I don't
Yeah.
see why not.
Yeah.
But yeah, this show, let's see. Joel, let me ask you, because we talked about him a lot, and I know he's been kind of like, his interpretations in the past two MCU projects have been kind of, you know, depending on who you ask, they're a little bit touch and go. So I want to get your opinion on this version of Kingpin.
I think they did him well. I mean, it's just crazy. Like he literally got shot in the face and he's back. But I
Kingpin,
mean,
baby.
as a super, I know, right? Super villain says he has to be like come and go. It was just cool to see. You know, he's still willing to do whatever it takes to get what he wants, right? True Kingpin fashion. And I just thought it was really interesting that Maya was basically his thrall, right? His right hand person to like take people out. And he was, you know, he as tough as he is, he's also really smart and he just knows how to play the game, right? They made that very clear. And if he actually truly cared for Maya too, so it shows. Like he's like, I not just using her, but I mean that's part of it too. But it's like I actually care about, you know, he's fucking people up for her, keeping her safe, you know, and he's still cold blooded, right? We see like he's like, "You're excused," he says to the interpreter, walks him down the hall. She's like, "Wait, what?" And then you just, you know, she can't hear it. She's deaf, but they ice the interpreter in the show, so that
Dude,
was
that was
interesting.
wild.
Yeah, that was a cool moment to show how cold hearted he is. But
Yeah.
I just thought it was interesting. He's like, "Go ahead, take my life," right? And she's like, "No, I'm not going to." And then again, it's like she has that power to do so. She's like, "No, I'm not going to take your life. I'm just going to change it." But yeah, that's. I think they've done a good job, and they don't. Um, what I'm looking for, they don't. They're elevating him, but it's in a believable way, right? Like he's not like getting, you know, he's not getting Iron Man armor, or he's not turning into the Hulk. You know what I mean? He's in his lane, and they're keeping him. They know what to do with him. And it's great. And at the end of the show, they show that it's like, oh, New York needs a mayor who, you know, is cutthroat, gets shit done,
Mayor
you know,
Kingpin.
won't answer anyone, right? And it's like, oh, just like the comics, he becomes the mayor of New York City. So, of course, right, they're gonna do that, and that'll be fun to see. And of course, I'm sure there'll be a big plot point in Daredevil Born Again or whatever.
Oh, for sure.
And I just want to rewind back to that. Actually, before we do that, what do you think, Brian, of this iteration of Kingpin?
So I honestly, don't understand why people are harping so much about how this Kingpin is like weaker than like the Netflix version of Kingpin, even though it's technically
he was shot in the face.
It's even though it's technically the same character.
Yeah.
I like Vincent D'Onofrio, like bro can be any version of Kingpin he wants, and I will fucking love it. He like, no offense to anybody else that's played Kingpin in the past, I feel like he has gotten that character down like to a T. He has that menace, he has that ominous, and he knows like when to like be like that, mask on, like trying to be like it's like I'm a reformed man, I've only ever done this to love you. Like he was like, you're my daughter to me. It's like that. Like he knows how to put on the Kingpin.
Oh yeah.
Like, yeah, he just did a really good job. And he even got to show off some of that, like that virile side of like Kingpin, like taking out that ice cream man.
Oh yeah,
that was like a reflection of like the Netflix, Daredevil show Kingpin. It's like he fucking beat the shit out of that guy, and then of course, growing up in trying to have Maya become his ace.
Yeah.
And just getting to see the background to how over the years he was like slowly, manipulating her, making her think that, he is what's good for her, and
grooming her for sure.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm ready to see what he does in Daredevil Born Again. I think he played his part really well in Echo. Vincent D'Onofrio, man, you can't go wrong. You can't go wrong.
Yeah.
I mentioned this before.
Me in front of Vanessa. Embarrass me in front of Vanessa.
I kind of wanted to talk about their interpretation of Maya's powers in this show. So obviously Maya is a Choctaw indigenous, and each episode they flash back to one of her Choctaw ancestors, and like the whole story in the show is that her lineage is tied to one of the first Choctaw native people that kind of, they rose from the ground. They became like the first people of the nation, kind of thing. And each episode shows like there's that ancestor's strength, and then they tie it back to Maya, as in a way like Maya is seeing these visions of her past and having her kind of learn from her ancestors, kind of like in an animus way, kind of.
Yeah, definitely.
So, and then it leads up to a head where she gets to a point where, she, in this show, her mother died in a car crash when Maya was a kid. And that kind of led into going to New York and being involved with the Kingpin and all that stuff. But the last one is that she flashes back to her mother, and she kind of has this kind of vision of her mother trying to, basically is what kind of unlocks her potential in a way.
Yeah.
And that's when she gains her full like power set, for at least for this show. I find it very interesting the way they decided to depict what Echo can do. Because in the comics, she is kind of more, at least before the more recent comics, because in the more recent comics she gets the Phoenix Force, and that's a whole different story. That's Phoenix Song. You can go read that. I actually picked up the trade for Phoenix Song. It's great. I
Oh,
recommend
I'm
it.
gonna have to borrow it from you.
Yeah, I'll try to make sure to bring it next time we hang out. It's a good read. Um, Also, I think they kind of used that as a reference too, because when I read it over after the show, they used some of the plot points because kind of on a tangent in Phoenix Song. Phoenix Song is when after she gets her Phoenix Force, she actually goes back home, and that's when she reconnects with her indigenous roots. So in the
Mhm.
MCU, she's doing it a lot sooner.
Yeah.
But baseline Echo, like just by herself, she's kind of a mixture of Daredevil and Taskmaster,
That's what I've
where
heard. Yeah.
she has enhanced senses besides, her being deaf. She can like read lips, which, is convenient for comics, and they change it because, Alakwa signs, and that's great. That it's really cool to
Yeah.
have that in like
Yeah.
on the screen. And with that in the comics, she's able to watch somebody do something and then perfectly mimic it. So that's kind of like why I say it's like a mixture of like Taskmaster, where she's able to kind of
Yeah. Yeah.
like they've shown her like she watches somebody play piano and she's able to for the first time ever just play a song perfectly on piano, like as an example. I'm sensing what they did for Echo is that her lineage with her ancestors and having this mystical power is their interpretation of her mimicry, where instead of just being like having her power be similar to like Taskmaster, they changed it so it's more based off of her lineage. And she's
Yeah.
able to kind of take that information from her ancestors and kind of use it in modern day, which is cool.
Yeah. I like that. I like it made it unique too.
Yeah. And then having her have mystical powers is fine. I didn't hate it. I was just like, oh, that's different. Like having her being able to use the power of her original ancestor to kind of, or like at least it showed like her mom, but having like this healing slash like power
Yeah.
transfer ability.
Hmm.
I was like, okay, because like there's like the conflict with like the Kingpin at the end. He has his her grandmother and her cousin held captive, right? And
Hmm.
then when she finally unlocks her full potential, she's able to share her power with her lineage, which is her cousin and her grandmother. So like they are part
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
lineage. She is able to share it with them. It's like that's really cool because it makes for a cool moment because you have all of her, ancestors kind of like appear as apparitions with her and like it creates
Yeah.
this whole cool scene, which is really
It's
sick.
really cool. Yeah. I really like that moment.
So yeah, it's not a bad change. It's I just find it very intriguing because in some ways it works, and in other ways they're kind of making this Echo different, which they should because
Yeah.
it's the MCU. The
Hmm.
MCU is not the same as the comics, so make it unique.
Mm-mm. Yeah. Yeah.
And I wouldn't lie if I thought about making that screenshot my desktop background. So
It, it was a great moment to like channel your ancestors and use them with people who were part of your family to help them and protect them. It's honestly, it was just like that's perfect. Like it just makes great sense and it fits this moment. I like this
power
is
of
awesome.
family
Right? Yeah, but in a cool cool way.
in a cool way.
Yeah, in
Yeah,
a ancestral connection, lineage, legacy way.
yeah.
It was dope.
And I do like that. Elliot, especially for like a lot of the flashbacks, and they did use it also in modern day. The use of the Choctaw language. was
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
really nice. Was actually a really good touch. I appreciated that a lot. Because what was it? Prey had a the whole indigenous like dub of the movie.
Yeah.
Um, and I believe there was something else that also did that. But it's cool to see like studios and stuff actually doing the effort to actually go and make like something legit, you know,
Like you said, authentic. Like truly
authentic.
authentic.
Like you can tell when something's being done half-assed, and you can tell when something's actually being done with care. And I feel like for this instance,
Yeah.
it feels like it's being done with care.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah. Let's see.
Yeah. Alakwa Cox, you did great.
Alako
It was
Cox is
amazing.
great.
Like that was
I hope that because I think Echo's her first like gig. This
good
is her
first
first
gig.
great first gig. Holy shit. So I hope she does a lot more stuff. It would be really cool to see um
She better be in Born
where her
Again.
career.
She better be. That would be a fucking
I
oversight
mean,
if she's not in it.
it just depends on what they do, you know.
I I I'm still gonna say it. There's no reason why we can't have fucking amazing or fun team ups now. There's no reason.
Yeah.
That's just me though. Personally, that's just
They
me.
really should at this point, to be honest.
I mean, and if she's like an MA rating, like I know a certain Moon guy could use her help. Just saying, it would be a great synergy. But okay, I digress. Anyway, Marvel,
Actually be
come on
nice.
now. Comics do all the time. People show up out of fucking nowhere. Hey, Spider Man, what you doing? Oh, I was in the neighborhood. Like, come on now. Like, come on. Let's go.
Uh, yeah.
Let's go.
Um yeah. I don't know. I know that we tend to lean on the more side of the optimistic and
Yeah.
the ones that kind of just enjoy this because I feel like for us this is like our junk food.
Oh yeah.
This is the stuff that we sit because we just want to enjoy it. Not to
Yeah.
say, you know, everybody has their own opinion, but I don't know. When Echo came out, this isn't new. This hasn't been hasn't been new for fucking forever. Um, but I feel like there's like a subsect of like people that just like shit on Marvel projects now just to shit on them.
Clout, baby. Clout chasing.
I
How
mean
you
that's
get your likes if you don't shit on it? Hate
that's part
watching's
of
the
it
thing,
for
right?
that's part of it for sure. But I don't know. I just like as time goes by, more and more of me like tends to just kind of like disassociate with like that side of like the fandom, as it were. Like I put air quotes for fandom just because it's like, bro, if you if you're not liking the MCU this much, why are you wasting your time? I I
Dude,
personally think it's a
yeah,
waste of
same.
time to hate on something than it is to just go find something that you enjoy. You know, I don't know. It's it's the ongoing battle.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any right answer to, you know, the issue at hand, but I'm just gonna sit here and enjoy the shit out of Echo, and then Deadpool 3 when it comes out this summer.
Yeah. Last thing about Echo, I just want to say the fact that it's like, your ancestors echo throughout you. I was like, of course, like poetry, it rhymes. But yeah, it was that was a good thing.
Yeah,
And then the reveal of her final costume was really cool. I was just like
her costume's
a
sick.
nice touch. It was really cool. Like she's already in the cool leather and everything, but it's like she thinks she sees her mom, but or she does, and it's like the reveal is like that's her costume. That's her heritage. It's with her. It's it's
Fucking
just
fucking sick.
yeah. I still think it needed 2 more episodes, but overall,
Oh yeah,
good shit.
like I hope that because I don't know. I mean, there's Born Again. They did rewrites and reshoots for that show. I hope that they give us more, and they don't feel like they have to rush everything, you know. I feel like if Morgan is at least 8 episodes, I feel like that's going to be okay for a show. But like 5 episodes for like half an hour each is not ideal.
I don't think Disney has the excuse anymore to just crank shit out like that. That was, I guess, okay. Like at the beginning when they had nothing, but even then, like, yeah, some of the content suffered for that. Like, there's no reason to slow cook it and make it good now. There's
that COVID rush was a slog at some point.
Like I love the content they made, but it's clear, right? It's like, oh, like if this needed about another month of like real good like looking at and review and work, and it would have been, you know, stellar, you know. But it's still great. They still had good stuff, but it's like some of the things that you could tell, it's like, get this out now. You know.
Yeah Overall, Echo was a fun time for me. I assume it was a fun time for you.
Yeah,
and
I think it was better than What If. I was talking with some of my buddies
about
season 2, What If, and it was good. I just think season 1 just did. I don't want to say better things. I want to say bolder things. I think, at least for me, I did enjoy season 2. Don't get me wrong, and I know one of our buddies did not enjoy the Hella and Wenwu team up. I thought it was great, but everyone to each his own, right? Yeah, I think it could have used a little more as well, but it was still good. But yeah, I put Echo above What If. They came out kind of close to each other.
Speaking of What If, I believe the new character from What If season 2,
Hody.
The person that voiced her played her mother in Echo.
Oh, nice. Good connection.
I believe that's right. Yeah. So yeah, just a little cool little Easter egg. My last Easter egg of Echo for now.
Sure, there'll be more.
I'm sure if I'm wrong, people will tell me in the comments. That's fine. But yeah, I believe that is our review for Echo.
Hell yeah.
Let us know what you thought of Echo in the comments. Did you like it? Did you not like it? Did you enjoy parts of it? Let us know. We like to conversate with you.
We like to talk about it. Talk about it.
Oh yeah, talk about it. But yeah, I think with that out of the way, I believe this will be the end of this week's podcast. Of course, we appreciate you guys hanging out with us. Remember,
hell yeah,
this weekend, Sunday the 4th at 1:00 on twitch.tv/United We Nerd will be the first of the chase for the title, where we will be competing for the World Nerdyweight Championship.
Hell yeah.
And of course, you can follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Threads, pretty much most social media places. You can find us there at United We Nerd. And of course, if you can't watch us live, we will have all our episodes on United We Nerd's YouTube channel. And for the streams, we do have a VOD channel. You can go to UWN Rewind, where we will have all of the Chase for the Title VODs stored there. Yeah. So if you can't hang out with us live on Sunday, you can go back and watch it and see how the progression is going.
Hell yeah.
All right.
Yeah, brother.
Joel, always a pleasure. It's always good to talk nerdy shit with you.
Always good.
And it's always fun to hang out with you guys. But of course, this has been United We Nerd. Until next time, keep on nerding.
Until Minus One got a fucking Oscar nomination, y'all. Let's get it, big
Fuck, we didn't talk about that shit.